Heart to Heart. Real people having real conversations about things that matter most to you. I'm Sherry Elise.
I'm Cyrus Webb.
I'm Rich Osagara.
I'm Patrice Tanaka.
And we are Heart to Heart.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Heart to Heart, the interactive talk show that allows you, our co-host, to be an interactive part of our program. We're glad that you all could be with us. If you all are new here, welcome. If you're one of our regulars, we definitely appreciate you. Make sure you all do us a favor. Make sure you share this out to your friends and let them know what you're enjoying this week. Also, of course, we want you all to know that you can be a part of this as well by offering up questions for us to be able to consider on our broadcast. All you have to do is click the questionnaire. You'll find it in the comments section. Make sure you guys submit your questions. Who knows? Your question could be chosen for one of our weeks coming up. So speaking of questions, what will we be diving into this week? Well, here are our three options. How do you tell someone that you love about their bad body odor? Oh my, that's an interesting one. Also, why does it seem that there are many racists in the Republican Party than the Democratic? That's an interesting one. And the third one is, what can we all do to serve our communities better? Another great question. We'll be going through those questions at the halfway mark, but now we want to bring in the rest of our crew here, our co-hosts here on Heart to Heart. We have a couple that are missing. We definitely miss Patrice and Sherry, but we do have Rich and also Tracy with us. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, we're going to hold down the fort this week. And I have to say, before we jump into the first part of the show, I want to thank everyone for being a part of what is show 21 for us. When I saw that, I was so excited about that. And really, this could not have been the case without all of you for watching. So thank you all for being with us. We're now legal, and we appreciate that. Tracy, what's been going on your way?
Well, as a lot of people know, I was trying to recapture my youth and went out trying to roller skate. And I learned the hard way that apparently I need to go relearn how to roller skate. So my question to you guys and the audience, I want to know, is there anything that as you are older, you find more difficult to do than you did when you were younger?
Tracy, I love this question, and it had me thinking, to be quite honest with you. And my answer is not going to be what people expect. Surprise, surprise, probably. But I'm going to be honest. It's more difficult now for me to make friends. I have gotten so used to being with Cyrus, and we have such great conversations, by the way.
We always listen to that.
Right.
But I used to be more open to having a wider circle, but I honestly think because of the line of work I'm in with broadcasting and interviewing people all the time, I don't search out new friends the way I used to. So that's kind of the thing that's been a push for me. I have to make myself do things that I used to would have just done even 10 years ago. That's been the thing for me. As I've gotten older, I've gotten more secure with just being by myself.
I get it. So I want to answer your question, Tracy, but just before we went live today, this was at our front door, this bag, and it's from our neighbor who's fairly new to our building across the way. She wrote on there, I made cookies today and I wanted to share them with you because you guys are so nice. She has a little dog.
Oh, wow.
And that was so heartwarming.
Yeah.
But Tracy, that question makes me laugh. I'm going to just share the first thing that came to my mind is, and it happened also before we were live. I don't know what changed in my head or in my body, but for some reason, it is hard for me to remember to zip my pants up.
Oh my gosh.
I walk around and I look down and my zipper's down. And I never had this problem before when I was younger. But for some reason, part of me just doesn't care anymore about putting my zipper up. And it's so bizarre. True story. The other thing that is hard for me now is to care as much about what people think about me as I did when I was younger. Like I really used to worry about what you think about me and being rejected and fitting in. Obviously, I don't care anymore. I do crazy things to my hair. I have like the heat miser hair today. I just like don't have time to worry about whether people like what I'm doing or like what I'm saying or like how I look. It's kind of a relief.
It is. It is. And I just want to jump in and say, Sherry said, "Ha, that was my grandpa."
Are you calling me old?
Yeah.
And Lois says she can't jump rope anymore either. Same
Hey,
here,
Lois.
Lois. Girl, I put my jump rope somewhere. I guess I got frustrated and hid it from myself because a couple years ago I was trying to jump rope. And I was like, why can't I do jump rope anymore? Same thing. I feel you.
But you hula hoop. I've seen you hula hoop.
I still can do that. Yes.
Definitely.
Look what Cody said, though.
Yes, I know. I do have. I almost didn't put any on, but I do have some on, by the way. I can't move my body the way I used to, though, and part of it is just this last year of being less active, and also having dealt with some physical malfunctions where I literally couldn't like lower back issues and herniated disc. And now that I'm able to move again, I'm finding that is definitely like my body's like, what are you doing? Why are you making me do this? But I need to, right? We all need to take care of our body. So that it's just harder than it used to be when I was younger.
Yeah.
Tracy, you know what I want to commend you on, though? You were trying. I think that's the thing. I think even for myself, I mentioned that it's become harder for me, but I still do it. It's just not something I just hop up and down to do. I mean, I've gotten very secure in being an introvert now. And so but I understand the importance of it. So I make myself do it. And once I do it, quite honestly, and this is the truth, and Sherry knows this, once I do it, I enjoy it. It's just making myself do it. So even with you, with that tumble, I mean, it's you were trying. That's all that matters.
I did. Well, I had some people that were, I don't know, I kind of felt like they were criticizing me because it was like, you're supposed to wear, protective gear, safety gear. And I understand, I appreciate people saying, okay, next time, be careful. But there's a lot of things that we're supposed to do that we don't always do. And in this case, I thought it would be pretty much old thing, old hat. Hey, I've been roller skating pretty much all my life. So sure, I've taken the last 20 years off, but I didn't think that was going to make much of a difference. However, as soon as I laced my skates up, I was on the ground. So let's see. Sherry says, I can't stay up late anymore or handle a hangover. So I go to bed early and barely drink. So I'm a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yes, you are, Sherry.
And then Holly and I are kindred spirits. Holly says, as an introvert, it has always been hard to be in loud, noisy crowds after COVID. It's become even more of an issue. Holly, I get it. I think now that we're around people more and we can actually see them, actually know who people are, because that was a problem with me with the mask a lot of the times. I'll be like, okay, do I know you? But I mean, now that I actually know people, I mean, I think it's becoming easier. But yeah, I mean, I think, and what I love about these comments, though, guys, is that it shows, I mean, it's not easy, but at least, hey, we put forth the effort.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've noticed too, going back to Holly. Hey, Holly, thanks for watching live with us, and everyone who's watching live, thank you. And if you all would share this post over to your Facebook pages, that would be awesome. But I've become way more sensitive to noise as well. The sound of other people chewing and eating, like, oh, I want to jump out of my skin. But even just like levels of a TV or radio or other people's dogs barking, that all just bothers me in such a way that it didn't used to. And I don't know if it's correlated to my zipper not wanting to come up, but I don't know. But I noticed this too, Holly. I'm just very sensitive to sounds and people talking too loudly. You young whippersnappers.
And Earl said, skate, it's not showing on the screen there, but skate's not. Right.
Earl, thanks a lot for watching us live. And as you heard Rich say, we appreciate all of you for being with us live. And make sure that take advantage of the opportunity too. We're about to get in the second part of the show into the questions that were submitted. If you all have a question you would like for us to tackle, definitely make sure you guys fill out the questionnaire. Would love to be able to have it considered for an upcoming edition of Heart to Heart as we're celebrating number 21. Sherry, thank you so much for sharing that, as well as Tracy as well. You know, one more thing, Tracy, about you and the skates. I mean, did you have a desire? Was that what kind of led to it? You felt like you were missing it?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. I see people skate here and there. Like there's this guy on YouTube. He goes by the name Push. I think that's what he calls it, his handle or whatever. But he's so smooth and he just glides and he, doing all the little things. And I'm like, man, that's so smooth. However, I've never been that good. Nonetheless, it's good exercise. And that's the reason why I do the hula hoop. I try to do the things that I used to do for fun. And when we were kids, we did those things, never thinking that it was exercise. It was just fun to do. And so I'm pulling from my childhood days. These are the things that I did that kept me fit: dancing, hula hooping, skating. Now I'm a paranoid about a bike, but biking, all of that stuff. So I just wanted to do something different. And just didn't think that I was going to have any issues with it, but I was wrong.
Well, here's to doing something different. I think that is a great thing for all of us. As Sherry says, I mean, she loves that you stay so young at heart. I think that's the thing. I think one thing I do think that I've carried over from my youth is the fearlessness. That part has stayed with me for good or bad. And I think so many times we do lose those things. So it's so cool that, hey, you had it, and you took a tumble, but hey, that's life. We get back up. Yeah, we get back up. We laugh about it, and then we're able to move on to the next thing for sure. And definitely let us know, guys, what is it about you? What is it that's something that you used to could do that maybe you cannot do anymore, like all of us, or maybe that you're finding more challenges? We would love to be able to know that. We'll continue to engage as we're going through today's broadcast, even afterwards too, in the comments section. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that as well. Rich, I want to bring up one thing you mentioned too. I thought it was an interesting thing before we get into the vault. That the act of kindness, that little unexpected thing. I mean, I was curious because we were talking last week about how people are and the change of people. What was it like for you to open up the door to find that?
Yeah, I mean, actually, Cody must have seen it first, and I walked over to this area to start the show, and there was this bag, and I knew that I didn't put it there, and I saw the note, and when I realized who it was from, because I'm not going to lie, we have had a little confrontation and upset with this neighbor because of her dog being very, very yappy. But I've managed to, still like connect with her and be kind. And it really blew me away that she went to that level to express kindness back and just, literally reach across the courtyard with a bag of cookies. It was so uncommon. I don't know if anyone has done something like that for us in so long. And so I think what a cool thing, right? Everyone watching, like what's a little tiny act of kindness that you could do for a neighbor, a coworker, a friend, especially if it's someone who maybe you've had a little riff or a confrontation with. I think that's why it melted my heart, is like I wouldn't expect that from her. And that taught me, like, never underestimate what people do or who they are or what's possible. And it made my day, and I can't wait for the show to end so I can eat my cookies.
There you go. Well, it gives us something to look forward to. Well, here's something that all of us have been looking forward to, and that is the question that is in the Heart to Heart Vault this week. So, Tracy, what do we have?
We're going to open.
All right. And the question is, how can we better serve our communities? Jamie, thank you so much for that question. And I think this is something all of us are passionate about for sure. And so, anyone like to kick this one off?
I will. Let me start because that question is from my dear friend, mentor, Jamie Oler. He is the bomb. He is such a great man. He's a marketer, but he's like 100% heart, right? His whole his motto is serve, care, inspire. And he just believes in taking that action with everything that you do. So he just opened up his hot dog shop in Lynchburg, Virginia. And he's forever going live. He's forever just like reaching out to the people and helping everybody. And, you know, people love him because he just really comes with his heart. You can tell that he truly cares about what he does and who he's trying to serve. So I think that's such a great question because we all need to do more of that. And real quick for me, in my community, I just attended a Zoom meeting last week where I had a chance to speak with the police, the sheriff out here because it's a small town. So I spoke with the sheriff, the chief sheriff, captain, and some other folks and said, hey, I want to be more involved in my community, not for marketing purposes, but because I love where I live and I want to see it do better. There's been some declining things around here. I want to see it come back. So that's how I feel about my community.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, Cyrus?
No. Go ahead, Rich.
Oh, okay. I love what you said, Tracy, about the example of, we can complain about what's wrong in our neighborhood, which is like being in the stands at a game, right? We're the spectators, like talking about the players on the field and what they didn't do right. Or we can be a player on the field and be a part of the change. And that's what you just talked about. And I think that's such a powerful way to go about this, because no matter where we live, it doesn't take too much to find like things that could be improved, I think. Or if your neighborhood's perfect, good for you. Like I bet the one next door might need some help too. So getting involved, for me, at my spiritual center here, Universal Spirit Center, shout out to you all. They have all kinds of committees. I'm actually part of the racial equality project there. There's a social justice project. There's different ways that we can get involved to volunteer, to make a difference in the community. So wherever you live, there's spiritual centers, churches, community centers, and they're always looking for people to lend a hand, to pitch in, to help. One thing we get to do, and we didn't do it last year because of the pandemic, but every year all the churches in this area of San Diego band together and they go to Balboa Park and they pick a big section of the park and everyone goes and clears out trash together. So all these different faith systems just side by side working together to do something good for the community that helps all of us. And so little, things like that they seem little, but they make a big impact. And to your point, Tracy, when we get out of our own shells and our own comfort zones, we get to meet new people and learn about how other people are and how they think, and create relationships. And you never know how those relationships will circle back to support your life in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Sherry really mirrors that, Rich. And that's what I love about all of us who are part of this show, is that we all kind of come from a place of service. Sherry says during the Black Lives Matter protest last year, it was such an awesome opportunity to connect with my community. I learned so much about our needs. I never got involved that way. I need to get back into it. And I think that's the big thing for myself. I think as I think about how we can better serve, I think so many times, and we as creatives, which we all are here, it's so easy for us to just talk about what we do. I think the thing for us, though, is also show what we can be a part of. And I think, just like Tracy, as you were mentioning, and Rich, even for you, even though you all have services, you chose to be of service. I know that's one thing I try to do, as well as, as I'm out doing whatever I'm doing. If I see something that I can use my platform to be able to help in, I think that's the thing. I think the other thing for me that I've learned is that don't think you're too small. I mean, I think so many times we think, well, what can I do? I'm just this person. But we see stories all the time about individuals who are creating great change, or leading great change just by their example. So I think, to the point that James is making here, I think we can better do it by just making the decision to do it, to say that I'm going to do my little part where I am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and actually, Viraj Ward, who's on the screen here, democracy is not a spectator sport. Hey, Viraj, she's actually one of my co-conspirators on the Racial Equality Project at Universal Spirit Center. So it's funny that she's here right now. But I know all of us here, like, we talk for a living, we teach, we share, we inspire people in our own platforms. But I know Tracy has done this, and I know you do this on your radio show, Cyrus, and I've done it. But if you have a platform where you are visible, and a great thing to do is to shine a light on the people in your community, the small businesses that need visibility, that need to be known for the great services and products that they offer. Doing a little interview. I know, Tracy, you've had a show doing that. Long time ago, I used to specifically go into businesses and ask them if I can just go live with them for a few minutes and talk about how awesome they are. Those kinds of things. If you have a platform and you can use it to shine a light on other people, that goes a long way too, and makes a difference to give people who need more exposure and more visibility that extra push, and it feels good.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, that's one of the things that's like the big thing that Jamie does. He goes live and he believes in that 1000%. And so what you said, Rich, as far as like going into businesses and going live with them, man, there are so many businesses that need that help because they're afraid to do it. It's a lot of businesses that they're like, I don't know anything about going live, and they don't really have the right energy, some of them, to just do it by themselves. Right. But when you get together, you get with somebody and you're having fun, you're making them have fun. Now that energy comes through the camera, and now people want to come in and check out what this business is all about. So I love that you brought that up.
And I was just going to add, guys, and I would love to know also from our viewers about this, because I think the other thing that frustrates me sometimes is that at this point, and definitely those of us who do this for a living, I think it's part of our responsibility. But now everyone has a phone, and so everyone can be able to highlight something that they like. I think so many things we see these viral videos for all the wrong reasons. I think, what about if we could be able to be a part of something powerful and showcase something really big and share that with our audience and have them encourage them to share it? Because I think it also will encourage them to know that, I don't have to, record a fight or something crazy in order to get attention, or to bring about some type of action. We can do it with positive things too. And I think I love those stories, of those little things that then become these big viral hits because of that one little act of kindness at the time for them didn't even seem like a big deal. But I think, that's why I think this is such a great question, because I think all of us can make that choice of saying, that person that I know that's doing this, let me showcase something from them to be able to let them know I appreciate them and what they do.
Totally. Yeah. It's go ahead, Tracy.
Well, I was just going to say, when it comes to being viral, excuse me, sometimes we get so caught up in the whole viral thing, but it's not always about that. Sometimes the message is for that one person that tuned in. So just like, my full belief is when we do this show, those that are live with us and interact with us and gain something from it, they were here at this moment for whatever purpose it was for them. And those that watch later, everything doesn't have to go viral. It just has to hit the right person at the right time. And so even if it's just one person that we have a message and it hits that person, it changes their life for the better, that's what it's about.
Yeah. And to go back to what Cyrus, what you were saying, everyone has a phone, right? And I love how you flip the table there about, we've all seen those crazy videos of fights and you name it, and worse. But what if we started shining a light on positivity and just the great experiences we have. Like if you go, now that we can be out and about much more than before, as we start to go back to restaurants, to nail salons, hair salons, whatever the business is, if you had a great experience there, at a minimum, you could take a picture of the sign, and maybe the owner, they will be so grateful. Because Tracy, you're right, because we both, all of us on this show have work with other business owners. They're not always so keen to be on camera or to definitely go live, but they'll take a picture with you. And you could take a picture and check in at their store and post it with something positive about them. Or hey, I know you all are on Instagram, Facebook stories, TikTok, you name it. It's easy to put something together really quick to promote a business and make a little video, make it fun. It's so easy to do this stuff now. It's a great way to practice getting used to using these tools, but doing it in service of other people, and it helps to build the community. And the stronger our local businesses are and our other related services, the stronger our community is wherever you are, and then it just has a ripple effect. So. Mm-hmm. I didn't know we were going to have a social media tutorial today, but it looks like.
But I wanted to say this real quick. One of the things that I did for a local Chinese restaurant down the street, I made her a QR code placard, and it just allows people to scan the code and leave their feedback on how they enjoy the services and stuff. And then when I first told her I was going to do this for her, she was like, oh, I don't know, people might say bad things. I said, no, why would somebody say anything bad? Their food is awesome. They're nice people. They give you way more food than you need to have. But I get a notification every time somebody scans that code, because it's set up through like a chat bot and all this stuff. But anyway, all of the feedback is good. There's people that's just like, man, this was awesome. I love it here. Da, da, da. So it's little things that can make a difference for a business if we just open up our minds, open up some of our skills, and just do it.
Yeah. And actually, I know the restaurant you're talking about, Tracy, because I read a comment that you posted on a question that one of Cody's friends had about where they should eat. And your comment stood out the most to me. And since that day, I've wanted Chinese food. That just goes to show you, like, people see these things and we remember it. And I know we've been talking a lot about businesses, but think of all the nonprofits that are in your area that really need a light. Like, what's the cause you believe in? Like, what is the thing that you see you can make a difference in? That's a great organization to give a little shout out to, and open people's eyes to what's around them and ways that they can support. So there's just so many layers to how we can do this. It doesn't all have to be businesses, but all the pieces of our community, if we just put a light on them, we make a stronger community. And I need Chinese food now.
Yeah.
Real quick, Chef China.
Chef China, okay.
Yeah, Chef China in Spring Valley. So
I'm going to Spring Valley.
I just wanted to mention quickly what Sherry says. Such great ideas on how to support our communities with social media and helping out the businesses. And again, all of us are on social media, right? So it's a great way for us to be able to take advantage of that. So Jamie, thank you so much for submitting that question. And everyone else who's been submitting questions, make sure, again, you take advantage of the opportunity in the comment section to be able to fill out the questionnaire with your question. Who knows? Maybe your question will be joining us next week. And again, if you have not done it already, make sure you guys are continuing to follow us, have your notifications on so you don't miss any episodes of Heart to Heart. 21 episodes, guys. It's been so much fun. She's not here, but Sherry, I want to say thank you so much for bringing this gang together. Patrice, we love you and so glad that you're part of this. Rich, it's been great being able to get to know you. And Trace, it's been great to be able to spend all of this time with you, and you'd help me with my sound. And your patience has been great. And again, lastly, thank all of you for tuning in to this episode of Heart to Heart. Until next week, make sure you guys are not only taking care of your heart, but doing your part to help someone else take care of theirs. You guys take care.
Yay. Bye.